Oh, hi, it's Opai and my good friend John, and we welcome you back to Katawa Shoujo. Yes.
Hello
Oh, hi.
and whoa.
Oh, no,
Welcome
whoa.
back to the Cripple Dating Simulator.
Cripple Dating Simulator. And yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I've last played this, so yeah, wow. I sit listening to another of Muto's long winded lectures, my mind wandering far from the scribbles on the dirty blackboard. Since I called Lily, my mind's been drawn in two directions, both roughly led to the same conclusion. I've started to feel oddly detached from my past life. It's only been a month and a half since I arrived here, yet this school's become a second home. I gained a few new friends and contacts, managed to get to grips with the school's lifestyle and culture, and become accustomed to the quirks of my classmates. To become used to a school where disabilities are the norm rather than the rare exception still catches me off guard. Sometimes when I think on it, the same school that's populated by burn victims, amputees, the blind, the deaf, and all manner of disabilities in between. Disabilities are us. Come one, come all.
Hmm.
If someone had described this school to me before I come, I have shrugged it off as an overactive imagination. Even when I first arrived, I felt like the Dutch, coming to this strange new land for the first time. It's amazing how quickly one becomes used to the environment they're forced to live in. Really. And now I've even found someone that's got me entirely smitten. What a strange life. Before my mind can wander any further, though, I find a page of lined paper slipped under my distracted face. The garish bright pink ink has no doubt been penned by Misha. Ah, you.
Gross.
Don't look so party, John. School's nearly over. 3-day holiday. Alright, we get Saturday and Monday off. Can't complain about having less school, I suppose. I uncap my pen and scribble on the page before covertly passing it back to her, flicking my eyes to the front of the class every now and then. Muto continues scrawling away arcane equations and formulas on the board. I'm guessing you have something planned? Misha takes the paper back and hunches it over comically, even for her, with her tongue poking through the side of her mouth. Did she misinterpret my expression as depressed and she is trying to cheer me up? Student council work with Shi-chan, of course. You're not still brooding over that, surely. But Hee-chan could have helped us, poor lonely girl. So it sucks to be you. I lend you a hand.
Ooh.
I lend you a hand for today if I weren't going to be busy. Ooh, naughty, naughty, Hee-chan. I'm just going to meet Lily with Hanako. I don't know what you got going through your head. So Lily's back? Yeah, she's coming on the evening flight with her sister, so she'll be back in school next week. And she takes the note back and begins to write. I look up to see an unwelcome sight. Oh, fuck.
See, eventually you two are gonna get caught.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like, how long are
kept
they?
doing it.
How long they were gonna keep this up for? While I frantically try to silently catch Misha's attention, Muto confidently strides through the gap between the desks and from the front of the class, his intent gaze focused directly on her. She suddenly stops writing as his tall figure casts an impossibly long shadow over the page.
She
Ah,
started it.
I. She silently takes the piece of paper from her heart and begins to read. Sweating bullets. I quickly glance around the class, noting their complete silence. Of course, it would be. It would just have to be the one thing that actually gets their attention during the lesson. After a scant few seconds examining the page, he rolls up the paper into a small tube and lightly pops Misha over the head with it.
Good.
Half an hour until you can hop off into the student council. I think you can hold on until then. Misha fakes cracks as an entire class erupts into laughter. He might well be awkward, but he knows how to handle her excellently. I probably feel sorry for her if I weren't as busy as stifling my own laughter. Oh, hello. Is that one
Ooh,
it?
nice outfit.
Yes. No, I think that's some foreign airline. And so the third aircraft they're not on comes into land. For the past half hour, we've been wailing away the time with the small snippets of pointless chatter. Lily and Kira's flight has been delayed, and at this rate, it'll probably be dark before their plane arrives. Is that one it? No, the company colors are wrong. Hanako's eyes flutter left and right, following the trickle of people in and out of the huge glass doors ahead of us. Fortunately, nobody pays her much heed, their attention apparently directed towards greater things. Maybe that one is it. No, I think that. Hold on a minute. I think that one might be it after all. Takes still some more time before the billboard changes their flight status to disembarking. A loud yawn sneaks up on me, not allowing enough time to stifle it. My sleep patterns have once again been all over the place, lately due to the mix of worrying about Hanako and the side effects of my medications. So, over there. I look to Hanako, then follow her gaze to the airport door. Hmm? Oh, Lily, they're here. Really? Hello, you two. We all call out to each other in greeting, quickly shuffling over to the side to avoid blocking the passage of doors. Lily! Hanako jumps forward to hug Lily, a wide smile on her face, being all that's needed to see her happiness in Lily's return. Lily simply smiles in return, her voice soft. It's wonderful to meet you again, Hanako. As the two give each other a hug, a well deserved. After all that's happened while she was gone, I turned to Akira. Yo, you're pretty late. Yeah, there was a really bad storm over the airport. We got drenched just going from the car to the door. I guess you'll appreciate the weather here more, then. Welcome back, you too. Welcome back to you too, Lily. Hanako breaks off from Lily as I speak. For a long time, neither of us says a word. Contrary to what I had thought her homecoming would be like, the atmosphere feels awkward, almost stifling. Both of us try to guess each other's feelings, not quite sure about what should be said. Damn, this is exactly what I feared when I thought of trying to move things forward between us. Lily runs her hand through her fair hair and awkwardly twirls one of her bangs in her fingers, clearly trying to think of how to best react. Eventually, thankfully, Lily gives a small sigh and breaks the silence. Thank you, Isao. It's nice to be back. Are you okay? You look tired. Evidently not recollecting herself all that well, she quickly waves her hand in front of her face to starve off any concern Hanako may have over her. I'm okay, really. It's just a bit of a jet lag. Weak. You don't have any? She simply gives a big grin, puffing out her modest chest. I feel absolutely fine. That's not fair. Well, you shouldn't take too long to get rid of it. That's right. Hisao. Yeah. Don't we have a holiday from school soon? I haven't forgotten if Misha hadn't reminded me this morning. We got a 3-day weekend starting from tomorrow. Akira playfully bumps her elbow lightly into Lily's side, grinning. Told you he wouldn't miss it. You have something planned? If neither you or Hanako are busy, I got no plans, so something to do would be appreciated. Hanako? No, nothing. That's good. I was thinking we could go to my family's summer house for a bit of quiet over the break. We rarely used it recently, so we had to dust things off a little while we're there.
Things
Oh,
are starting to go down.
where is it? Down syndrome? Up north in Hokkaido. Yeah, you're right. The place is practically deserted, so it should be a nice quiet break for you guys. You're not coming? Nah, I got a lot of my own setup with my boyfriend. I lower my eyes at her, suspicious of her intentions. It sounds like we're just cleaning up the summer house for you. That's perhaps a valid conclusion. Both of us zero in on Akira, her face somewhat evasive. Looks like we were right. That's just a convenient bonus. Really, me and the guy left it in pretty good condition. Last we were there, I promise. Now then, I'm out of here. Already? Akira, She quickly turns and walks away, her hand held high.
It's been about 3 minutes, so.
See you in a few days, guys. Lily and I can only sigh to her hasty retreat. It does sound like it would be a nice place to go. Lily gives an enthusiastic nod, taking her carry bag in one hand and placing her other on Hanako's shoulder for guidance, as we begin to make our way to the taxi area. After the fracas of the past few days, spending a weekend in the country alone with her and Hanako sounds like a dream. The more I think about it, the more sure I am this will be the right time and place to confess my feelings to her. Ugh.
Ugh.
Alright, the morning chill wraps itself around my shivering body. I huff into my cupped hands and to desperately try to stave off the cold as we mill about on the station platform. Lily's clothing looks rather ill-suited for the temperature around us. I can only hope it's indicative of what she expects the weather to be like at her destination. Damn it, Lily! Why do we have to get here so early? Unfortunately, the train schedule is against us. The next train to Hokkaido is at 2 in the afternoon. Great. Just great. I pause a moment to wipe some sleep out of my eyes, and Lily promptly takes advantage of the opening. Cheer up, Hisao. Once we get there, it'll be much warmer. Why not just take the bullet train? A normal train's going to take hours for us to get there, so we may as well take the Shinkansen line as far north as it goes, and just switch at the end. There's a certain charm to older trains, wouldn't you agree? It's not like you could see the charm of it. I agree if I weren't freezing in the morning cold, so we decided to take one. I'm sorry, Hisao. Sorry? What for? I was the one who suggested taking the normal train. Well, maybe to make me feel guilty. All I can do is sigh and cover my face with my hand. It's fine. I'm just grumbling. My, Hanako, you shouldn't know to blame yourself. Even without your suggestion, I still have opted for the same thing. Thankful for the quick interception from Lily, I take a quick gander around the station. Aside from us, the train platform's all but deserted, the morning dew settling on the empty benches. I guess no one else was masochistic enough to brave the very early morning. Though if someone was, they'd be more than noticed the huge bags both Lily and Hanako brought with them. Just what did you have to pack into those things anyway? The bags? She pauses a moment and tilts her head in thought. A change of clothing, raincoat, underwear, sleepwear, and a number of books. I think that's the most of it. You make it sound as if I'm unprepared. You brought less? Underwear and a pack of cards. That's it. And my pills. But never mind that. No pajamas. Damn, I knew I forgot something. Well, I guess I'm sleeping naked. As I ruffle my hair in frustration, Lily sighs. There should be clothes you can use there. Akira still occasionally goes there, after all, and I think some of her parents' clothing is still in storage. I don't think there'll be any problem with you borrowing a set of pajamas, if need be. Thanks.
Yeah.
Still,
clothes.
I don't mind just sleeping in my normal clothing. For 2 days? Good point.
Nothing wrong with it. I do it all the time.
Not really. Though yuck! Though 2 days would be borderline. It's more than that. Looking even a little like a slob would be unacceptable while in the presence of 2 girls. As we leisurely talk on the station platform, an announcement sounds from the loudspeakers, loudly heralding our ride's arrival. Looking past Lily and Hanako, though, the train's still well out of sight. A quick check of my watch is enough to see that it's the one we'll be taking. The 5:30 train was ours, right? Correct. Either of you want me to take your bags? Mine's not exactly heavy. My, that's very gentlemanly of you, Hisao. Don't accept too reluctantly now. As I bend to pick up Lily's large bags, I look up to see Hanako picking up hers. You fine with that? A silent nod's only the only answer. I'm starting to get the feeling that by the trip's end, I'll be able to count every sentence she said on one hand. Oh, nice animation.
Ooh, nice.
With the morning landscape passing by the window and the occasional rattle of the train bumping the carriage around, I try to focus my attention on the aging playing cards held in my hands. Oh no. I like the animation here, by the way. Sorry, I had to stop there for a second.
No,
I
no,
just,
it's
I,
fine.
I just,
The
I just,
animation is
I
nice.
just, I just had like the moving train and all that. I just had that one thought in my head:
Oh, which is.
who's driving the train? Racy. John's got it.
Okay.
John's got it.
Yeah, there
John's
you
got
go.
it. All right.
All right. All right, passengers. If you look to the right, you'll see a bitch-ass train driver who's gonna lose this train drag race.
You're putting in a train with. All right. All right. Let's go. I'll raise you 5. I. She scrunches her face up, whatever's left of it, and leads over to Lily conspiratorially, the two exchanging a few whispered words. Considering how often this has happened so far, I'm coming to doubt Hanako's grasp of how to play poker. It doesn't seem to disturb Lily's reading, though, her hands fitting over each page of with occasional corrections to account for the train's bumping and rocking. My collection of chess pieces that we're using as chips is steadily growing anyway, so it really doesn't bother me. Looking around us, our carriage is almost as empty as the station platform we waited on for the train itself on. Only a handful of people can be seen, looking mostly like tourists and couples on holiday. While the two continue their less than clandestine strat gazing, I don't know. Fuck. A small boy looks over the sea and stares at me. Hoping he doesn't begin to stare at Hanako, I simply give him a wave and a smile. Thankfully, he retreats back to his seat after finding me too boring to waste his attention on. I see you and raise you another 5. Damn, you've got me. I fold. I've been bluffing, and she caught me. Hanging my head, I push over a large portion of my winnings. Hanako looks absolutely delighted, and even if Lily keeps her attention focused on her reading material, I can see the smirk on her face. They're both extremely pleased.
Can I ask just one question?
Yes.
Okay, now I've been out of it for a few parts, I will admit. But how is Lily reading the book?
All the books? No,
Yeah,
because
I missed the
it's
explanation.
sorry. It was explained on the earlier part that the books she has they're braille.
Oh, okay, that's what I
They're
thought.
special
Right, my bad. I just haven't had time to watch the
they're
previous parts
special
yet.
braille books, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Special braille. For a moment, I try to work out what Lily's reading, but the cover is too faded to read beyond the fact that the Roman letters on it. It's a pity I can't read the braille above the printed title. What are you reading, Lily? The title looks like it's in English. That's right, and it's And There Were None, an old British story. I can read it to you if you like. She extends the offer with a grin, obviously in jest. I think I'll pass, thanks. Hmm. After a seemingly endless trip, we finally reached the promised land of the Satao summer house. Even after the train trip, the walk seemed to take forever. Despite my grumblings, though, I never guessed the sight of what it would be in store for us once we traveled that long deserted road. It looks more like a farmhouse than an everyday house I imagine, small in size and surrounded by trees and bushes. An empty expanse of wheat fields and farming land can be seen as we walk up, the fencing only consisting of rickety old wooden planks. It really drives home how far we are from the major cities, and it's a sight that feels authentical, or sorry if I pronounced that wrong, to the environment I grew up in. The only thing that doesn't surprise me is its Western styling.
Yeah, it's really Western.
Wow, it's amazing out here. Mm-hmm. It's wonderful. That's nice to hear. While Akira may have said it, she's kept the house in reasonable condition. I was worried we might have different standards of reasonable. It looks like there it looks like there isn't another soul for miles. I thought Akira would be the type to keep for the city. To the city. Lily furrows her brow in thought, seemingly recalling the most almost forgotten knowledge. Hmm. From memory, there's a small town not too far ahead. Other than that, though, this is largely just old farmland. Akira and I stayed in our parents' house, which was in the nearest city for a while. But after they left, we decided to move into a smaller, more easily maintainable house. To find a place like this in Japan nowadays, it's kind of anachronistic. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. Good. Well, this town does have quite a bit of history. I looked down the street one last time before getting back into the task at hand. Shall we go in then? I'm parched. It was a long walk to get here. Lily gives an enthusiastic nod, the three of us lugging our bags into the house. As soon as we set foot aside, Hanako and I start looking around, taking in every detail of where we'll be staying for the next few days. All the other facts of another's life stop mid-motion are around the house, such as the television guide lying beside the counter it was on, and the pans in the adjoining kitchen still sitting on the stove. It's a strange feeling, really, as if we were stepping into Akira's life for a brief moment before leaving in a couple of days, just as we come. Of course, the more mundane reality is that she just hasn't cleaned up after herself that well. Where should we put our bags? I'll show Hanako our bedroom. You can put yours here if you like. You mean I don't have the same bedroom as you two?
Aww.
Hanako flowers into a full blush as Lily takes her cheek in her hand. Oh my, how bold. You two. Hold on. If I were to leave my bags here, where will they be sleeping? Well, seeing as we lack a guest bedroom. The comfortable futon, huh? Sorry, Hisao. I sigh. Ugh, damn it. Limiting my place at the bottom rung of sleeping location priorities. I guess there's no other choice. Lily leaves to show Hanako to their bedroom, so I take a small tour of my surroundings after I drop my bag onto the floor. The kitchen, just like the living room, is fairly modest. The rustic nature of the wooden furnishings drives home just how far we're from civilization. Returning to the living room, I decide to try the television until they get back. With the touch of the remote, it immediately flickers to life, apparently set to a news channel. Almost flapping down from exhaustion rather than sitting, I lay back and watch. And watch. And watch. Oh wait, I'm falling asleep. Oh crap. So. Oh, it's nighttime already. I quickly blinked to wake myself up, Lily and Hanako having returned minus their bags. From the Hokkaido night sky visible outside the windows, it looks like I drifted off to sleep. Looking to the wall-mounted clock, it's already 10. You found the television then? Yeah, it really does feel nice and homey here. I'm glad you like it. You were out like a light when we came back after unpacking our things, so we didn't have the heart to wake you sooner. Judging from her giggle, I must sound funny when I sleep. I swiftly decide not to inquire. There's some dinner waiting for you in the kitchen. Hanako gives a deep yawn, only just remembering to cover her mouth at the last second. My, are you tired? I didn't get much sleep last night. I'm pretty tired too. It was a long walk up here, and it's getting late. If that's the case, I suppose we should retire for the night. Good night, Hisao. Good night. Night. With that, they quietly turned and walked back to their bedroom. Rubbing my eyes, I sigh. I wonder if I'll be able to get back to sleep after being woken up. I suppose I'll eat something and just watch some more TV quietly before going to bed. she still sleeping? I think so. I'm not. I am, however, incredibly tired. It's getting late in the morning. I know that. He likely stayed up to watch television. I can hear it from our bedroom. Only because I couldn't get to sleep. Should we wake him? Don't do that. Hanako, please. No, we should leave him. I doubt he'd want to be woken early if he didn't get much sleep during the night. Thank you, Lily. Besides, he sounds so peaceful. It would be a shame to wake him when he's like this. Keep a straight face, Isao. It is nice she cares so much, though. Hanako, could you go to the fridge and fish out what's needed to make lunch? All right, just the vegetables and rice. That should be enough. We only need something simple, as we can eat in town later. Hanako's footstep on the carpeted floor can be heard, moving away from the living room. As they do, I feel Lily's hand gently rest on my chest. It takes a titanic effort not to react, but something about her makes me think she knows I'm awake. A long silence passes. The only thought in my mind is of that gentle, outstretched hand laying upon my chest. After an indiscernible amount of time, Lily withdraws her hand. Good morning, Hisao. Ah, conceding defeat all too easily. I prop myself up and rub my eyes. How'd you know? Your breathing was off. Well, that makes sense. She couldn't have needed that long to work it out. Knowing her hearing, she likely knew before laying her head on me. If you want to sleep more, you should really go to bed earlier. I heard the television going long into the night.
There's so many things wrong with that.
Care to pour them out?
Well, I mean, she's saying you should have went to bed earlier. Well, you shouldn't have let Haizao sleep all fucking day yesterday. That's why I couldn't get to sleep. It's like, what do you expect? What is she expecting? Come on, Lily. I thought you were supposed to be smart.
Man, for a grown-up, you sure are dumb.
I guess even Lily can't see everything. Oh wait.
She can't see the point. And we're off. Shit. Sorry about that. My medications have been interfering with my sleep for a while now. Even if I'm tired, I have trouble actually sleeping. I'm sorry for bringing it up, Hisao. I'm sorry. I sigh. Sigh, sigh. I. This is exactly the kind of thing I wish
Address
others
it.
would.
Sorry.
Shall we address it?
No, I don't know. Whichever's the better choice, but personally, I would address it and tell her off.
Tell her to fuck off, really?
Tell her to fuck off.
Oh, that's all. That's awful.
No, the choice is yours. Don't listen to me.
Let's address it. Come on, you worry about me. You worry about me more than I do at times. It just means I have to sleep a bit longer. That's all. But still, I say that I look absolutely fine. But I guess that wouldn't have a lot of meaning for you. She gives a sigh of consternation before trailing off on an amused chuckle, giving up the point. If you say so, please do take care of yourself, Isao. Go on. Hanako could use some help. She moves to protest, but reluctantly acquiesces. I can't say that word, sorry.
What are these big words?
I know,
and
Jesus
why
Christ.
are they in my visual novel?
It's alright.
Come on, I play visual novels for only one reason. Not to read.
I was born to lead, not to read. Disappears into the kitchen, her hand running along the smooth white walls as she slowly walks. Depending on what she means by her smooth white walls, for a while I sit and watch television in an attempt to wake myself up a little bit more, but it's futile. I don't have anything better to do, so I follow Lily's lead. As I round the corner, I see Hanako and Lily's backs turned, quietly cutting food on the granite-colored counter. I am temporarily engrossed as I watch Lily guiding the knife down and carefully with a finger on the cabbage she's cutting, each slice delivered slowly but with precision. She seems a little slow, but considering that she can't see what she's doing, it's a small one that she can cook at all, let alone for both her and Hanako. Hi, Hanako. Lily, want any help? Is that his? Ah! Oh, morning, Hisao. Lily jerks back in surprise before turning around, her yelp immediately drawing Hanako and me to her side. What's. Ah! Oh, she cut herself. A small trickle of scarlet falls downward from her pale fingertip, the knife having cut just deep enough to draw blood. With the television sound masking my footsteps, she must have not noticed. She must have not noticed me coming. To compensate for having to use touch to guide everything she does during cooking, she must need to pay extra attention.
Mm.
Lily! Don't worry, Hanako, it's just a small wound. She should still get a band-aid out of it, because I ain't
Tis
eating
but a
that
flesh
shit.
wound.
It ain't nothing but a flesh wound. At least until it stops bleeding. First aid stuff would be in the bathroom, right? I think so. Would you be okay here, Hanako? I frown at that, at how little heed she's paying to herself as Hanako gives a quick, almost automatic nod. It's fine. I can keep making lunch. An awkward silence reigns as I set the bottle of antiseptic and a box of band-aids on the side of the sink, Lily's finger held out for me to treat. The lid of the bottle comes off with a minimum of resistance, and a small ball of cotton I soak in the liquid stains a pale green. Okay, hold still. This will probably hurt a bit. She gives a small nod as I take hold of her hand to steady it. With all the tenderness I can muster, I gently bring the dampened wad to the small red line. Ah! What? I barely touched it. Sorry. I, it's supposed to burn like that, but that's to disinfect. I give a sigh, both at her reaction and to settle my own nerves. Pain tolerance is sternly low. I would tell you to man up, but I really can't do that. As she
Just
gives a
tell her to
small
woman up.
giggle. As she gives a small giggle, I take advantage of her momentary distraction and gently press the cotton against her finger a few times. Thankfully, it's enough to do the job. We both settle somewhat as I bring in the band-aid over the tip of her finger, covering the wound while making sure not to get stuck into her fingernail. There, finished. You can move now. Taking her hand from mine, she gently claps it in the other. Thank you. It's no problem. It's the least I can do after causing you to hurt yourself, after all. She lowers her head slightly at the apology, absent-mindedly rubbing her hand in what seems to be an embarrassment. I really don't mind. Her answer doesn't seem to make much sense, given that what happened is pretty clearly my fault. I can't help grimacing at her, despite the fact that her dainty smile still holds. She must not like being reminded of the limitations of her lack of sight imposes on her. It's something I can't possibly fault her for. I've fallen prey to the same kind of feelings before, despite my condition not being nearly as oblique. Damn, fucking big words.
Words too big, small brain can't read.
Me no speaky this language. Neither of us any the happier. We head back to the various smells of cooking food coming from the kitchen.
Oh god, the kitchen's on fire!
And the other half of her face is burned down. I laid the plates of foods, steam slowly rising from the well-cooked rice and curry dishes, while Hanako lays out the cutlery. Knife one side, fork on the other. Western. How perfectly fitting for someone like Lily. As we take our seats, taking careful heed of the dark red tablecloth hanging below our knees, Lily emerges from the kitchen. In her hands are 3 glasses and a bottle of wine. Wait, she got the wine from. As I recall our previous run-in with that devilish elixir, I had my face in my palm. Alcohol? Seriously? They're not in school grounds this time. It's not like they can get in trouble or anything.
They can just crunk it up this time.
Yeah, the first time they did that was on the birthday.
Happy birthday. Why not get drunk?
Yeah. She pauses as she reaches the table, a playful grin perched on her face. But then again, alcohol equals vulnerability for later. Akira specifically gave permission to take a bottle from her collection. Not only does she give alcohol to minors, she even lets them pilfer her own. The perfect model of a responsible adult. Akira is not. More to the point, though, is that this is hardly a meal deserving of alcohol. I'm starting to think Lily's the type to easily become hooked on things.
I can see the type of person Lily's gonna become in the future.
What would that be?
And she's gonna be the drunk, abusive wife in the relationship.
Oh my god.
You already know it. And it's gonna be her sister's fault.
It's not like she can see any backhands incoming. Opie Man does not endorse um, domestic violence or anything.
Remember, this is just jokes. We're
Yeah.
only messing around. We're
Right.
not serious about any of this.
Yeah. That's not really the problem. I don't really have any qualms with it, but didn't you have a bad experience with it last time? Last time was likely due to drinking too much, so a single glass shouldn't prove a problem. Think of it as a
Single glass
learning
quotations.
experience. I can't recall many learning experiences that made me feel rotten before putting me to sleep, but I'll take your word for it. She dips an uninjured finger inside to feel the liquid level. Tip against the bottom as the liquid rises up. The white of her finger almost seems to glow as the sunlight hits it, the delicate outline blurred and refracted by the glass. Her fingers are definitely longer than mine, the kind I think more suited to the pianist than a teacher. Pianist. she likely have done well if she had learned how to play. We quickly
But she wouldn't be able to see any of the keys.
she But then again, Ray Charles and easily found the keys, and look how he did his shit. So you can't say that.
All right.
Careful.
Never mind.
Choose your words carefully.
Never mind.
We
I was
quickly
gonna attempt to make a Looney Tunes joke, but I'll just mess it up.
we quickly dig into our meal, forks and knives clattering against plates. None of us are particularly eager to speak while eating. Lily altogether too reserved for such a thing. Hanako probably too shy to start a conversation, and I too busy savoring the food. Such a pedestrian activity. Eating together at the table. It seems so utterly normal, yet it makes me realize how long it's been since I've done something like this. Just the three of us, sitting around a single table, eating as if we were a malformed family. Maybe this trip, as far away from everything as we are, was worth it. It takes quite a long time, but we eventually we all finish our surprisingly filling meal. The wine, thankfully, has little effect given we have only had a glass or two each. Jesus Christ. I slump back into the seat, rubbing my stomach contently. I'm stuffed. Lily pats her mouth with a napkin. Twice. Only twice. And with infinitely timed intervals in between. It's hard to tell sometimes whether how she acts is a well-trained routine or a well-rehearsed act. I think I must be as well. Did you like it, Hanako? It was fine. Now then, that we're all fed, shall we be off? Off? Where? Weren't you privy to the discussion between Hanako and me earlier? I get the impression that she's having a subtle dig at my sleeping in. We'll be going into town nearby. I guess I should have expected two girls to take a holiday as an excuse to go shopping, no matter where on the planet they may be. I am interested to see more around the north, though, so this can only be as a good thing. Sounds good. How long's the walk been, then? It's supposed to be around a mile to a mile and a half. Well, see you guys around. I'm staying here. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, nearby, huh? Great. Just great. Fucking fantastic. As we climb up the path, surrounded by trees and undergrowth, I watch Lily and Hanako walking ahead. The slight breeze all but whisks away the sound of Lily's cane gently tapping on the ground. I notice that Lily's since removed the band-aid now that the bleeding of her finger has stopped. A deep lung-filling breath of the fresh country air makes me wish all the harder that the air around home has been quite so clean. Ah! it can't have been a half a mile, but I'm already working up a sweat. It isn't a pleasantly cool day, though, so I shouldn't be too hard on myself for it. Hey, Lily, how well do you know this town anyway? Since I spent quite a few of my vacations up here up until I entered Yamaku, I say I know it fairly well. We used to drive you there once a weekend then. How I wish Akira was here to drive us now. Well, I quickly take a moment to rub my hands a couple times, staving off the oddly cold feeling in them. Did you like it up here? I say it was nice during winter, but as you can work out, summers can get a little too hot for comfort. It's nice and quiet at least. My family's real house is quite far south. When they left Japan, my parents gave it to Akira and me. Only Akira lives there now, after moving after my moving to Yamaku. Well, quiet certainly describes this place, though lonely is how I put it. Other than the precise small town, there isn't another soul for miles around. Coming from a home nestled deep within the big city is certainly different. I think that if I'd not come to Yamaku, staying out in the country like this would be too much for a change to get used to. After getting accustomed to the school's isolation, though, the idea of it living in a place such as this had become almost inviting. To be somewhere away from the hustle and bustle of a metropolitan centers. So, Hisao, have you been to Hokkaido before? Nah, I used to live down south, and we never had any field trips or holidays up this far. Well, it's a new experience for you then. Yes, it is. I'm surprised at how nice it feels here. How about you, Hanako? She shakes her head from side to side. It's my first time too. As we continue walking, I begin to feel pins and needles on my legs. It's a little disturbing given there's no reason for it to be happening. Could you two hold on for a moment? I just need to. Is anything wrong? Nah, I just got pins and needles and. Oh no. Oh no, not now. Not now, this fucking thing.
Rippy dippy doo.
Where are
Was
you?
nice knowing you, Heizo. See you later.
My vocal cords suddenly become taut as my chest tightens instantaneously. I quickly pull my upper arm over it, trying to quell the shock of pain spreading throughout my entire body. Hisao? The Lily's face is only mildly concerned, not knowing the side of which Hanako's recoiling from. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just tired. I remove my arm from my chest and force myself to begin walking again. It's just a minor heart flutter, so it passed like the others. It only takes a couple of steps before my body finally revolts against me. My legs suddenly begin to give away underneath me, and all the tension in my knees seeming to evaporate. Before I can react, they usually give away under my weight, leaving me only just enough time to brace myself and fall onto all fours. Ah, damn! Hisa! As I look up to To her, I realize my face is still taut with pain, only adding that much more to her worrying. Isao? Hanako, tell me what's going on. Hanako, tell me. Hanako quickly moves to my side as Lily almost panics, having a little clue as to exactly how bad a condition I'm in. While she stands there petrified, I lower my face and take a deep breath. I came to a realization that makes me endlessly irritated with my stupid self. With all the excitement of my new surroundings, I entirely neglected to take my medications last night or even this morning. Oh,
Oh man,
dude, how can you forget?
that's a rip.
Taking another breath, the acute pain in my chest begins to die down as I suddenly as it arrived. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. As it does, I become acutely aware of of the sweat by now pouring off my face and the two scared girls around me. Isao, I'm fine, Lily. I'm fine. I screw up my brow in an effort to lever myself up. Hanako's arms quickly moving to catch me as if I fall, and as I stumble before a bit before regaining my balance. I look to Lily and Hanako, worry written on both their faces. I feel awful, utterly awful. I think we should go back. I, realizing the futility of protesting, I look away in frustration. Fine. Oh, that sucks.
I mean, yeah. how could how could you really forget to take your medication, man?
Uh, it's, you take it every time, but
I
you
mean,
go to some place new never before. It just like it passes through your mind.
I thought Misha was the idiot. Come on.
Oh, now I'm the idiot. I'm the baka.
Now Aizao's the idiot.
He's the baka. God damn it. Anyway,
Baka.
how can you forget baka? Anyways, we should cut it off here. Next time on Let's Play Katawa Shoujo, we'll see what happens after this. Looks like I'm sleeping, but or laying down actually. Anyways, thank you for watching. See you guys next time.
Adios.